FEMA employees fired over egregious $59 million payment for NYC migrants. 4 Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA employees, including a top-level executive, have been fired after sending millions of dollars to New York City to house and care for illegal migrants, according to the Department of Homeland Security. Effective immediately, FEMA is terminating the employment of 4 individuals for circumventing leadership to unilaterally make egregious payments for luxury NYC hotels for migrants, DHS officials said in a statement obtained by the Post. The firings, first reported by Fox News, include FEMA's chief financial officer, 2 program analysts, and a grant specialist. Under President Trump and Secretary Noem's leadership, DHS will not sit idly and allow deep state activists to undermine the will and safety of the American people. The statement added, on Monday, Elon Musk, who runs the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, posted on X that his team had discovered that FEMA has recently paid out $59 million meant for disaster relief to the Big Apple for luxury hotels to house illegal migrants. That money is meant for American disaster relief and instead is being spent on high-end hotels for illegals. Musk posted on X on Monday and promised DOGE would be making a clawback demand to recoup those funds. City Hall quickly denied Musk's assertions in a statement, without naming the billionaire, insisting that it has never paid luxury hotel rates for housing migrants and that the money is not a disaster relief grant. The funds, which city officials said were allocated last year under the Biden administration, were likely sent via the Shelter and Services Program, SSP, which reimburses cities, towns, or organizations for immigration-related expenses. The money is authorized and funded by Congress and is separate from FEMA's Disaster Relief Fund, which is the agency's main funding stream to help people and governments affected by disasters. The DHS, which oversees FEMA, directed Customs and Border Protection, CBP, to transfer $650 million of its FY 2024 appropriation to FEMA for the SSP, according to the Congressional Research Service. CBP is also a part of the DHS. The DHS statement did not elaborate on how the 4 FEMA employees violated any policies, and Tricia McLaughlin, a spokesman for the security agency, declined to answer questions about the payments. As Secretary Noem said yesterday, "We must get rid of FEMA the way it exists today," McLaughlin said. However, on day 1 of his presidency, President Trump signed an executive order making it easier to terminate employees in so-called policy-influencing positions who fail to implement the president's agenda. They are required to faithfully implement administration policies to the best of their ability, consistent with their constitutional oath and the vesting of executive authority solely in the president, the order states. Failure to do so is grounds for dismissal. Trump's budget team also ordered a temporary freeze on federal financial assistance in January, pending a review. The administration announced further executive action on Tuesday, the same day as the firings, to drastically reduce the size of the federal workforce with a hiring cap. More than 65,000 employees were already lured out of agencies with buyouts. Ilya Shapiro, a lawyer and director of constitutional studies at the Manhattan Institute, speculated to the Post that the FEMA employees had been fired for cause, since they had been instructed by superiors not to commit the funding, referring to the temporary freeze. So-called ministerial federal workers, like the fired FEMA staffers, can be sacked for not following orders, but policy-making appointees have typically enjoyed more job protections, Shapiro noted, explaining the Day 1 executive order. Federal employee unions, Democratic state attorneys general, and others have challenged those orders in court, with judges dealing a blow to the Trump administration in some cases. But proponents of the administration's actions have claimed that Trump has the sole authority under the Constitution to hire and fire executive branch employees.